Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Today we're playing Uncanny Desire, which is a visual novel-esque game. Not much else I can say about it. We'll give it a play. On an ordinary night during any other week of the month of October, you find yourself hanging out with your small group of friends. Everyone is chatting and having a good time. You all decided to get together for some fun before the month was over in honour of the spooky holiday fast approaching. Of course, you're far from tense. Despite the cause for occasion, you aren't particularly superstitious, so as a holiday like this doesn't bother you too much. Eventually, however, night settles in, you quickly realise the party's only just beginning. Oh, come on, don't you think we should do something daring tonight? Daring? What did you have in mind, Dan? Ah, of course, she's not expecting less from Anne. She always seems to have something planned. Tee-hee-hee. The way she's laughing and eyeing you tells you all you need to know about her little plan before she can even say anything. She's going to put you up to something, isn't she? That she'll feel his demeanour in the face of terror. Let out a sigh. Come on, Anne, quit giving me that look and get to the point. Ha 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 ha, you know me too well. You don't need to ask me twice. Whatever she has planned, she's far prouder of than she usually is to making you feel a bit nervous. However, you've already gotten the ball rolling, so there's no stopping it now. Did you two hear the rumours surrounding nearby woods? Rumours? Ezra casts a curious glance your way, but when you don't seem to know more than he does, he turns his attention back to Anne. What rumours? Well, there's a pretty popular rumour that's been around for many years. Apparently, within the woods that are on the edge of this fairy town contain a dangerous creature. Ezra gives Anne a look of disbelief. Oh, and let me guess, he rolls his eyes dramatically. Whoever entered said woods never to be seen again. Anne gives Ezra a look of shock, her mouth dropping open almost comically. How did you know? That's exactly what they say. I thought you hadn't heard this rumour before, Ez. I haven't, it's just so cliché for a rumour, it might as well be fiction. In that case, how would anyone even know there's a dangerous creature in the woods if no one ever returns? Anne's face screws up in thought before she eventually shrugs, turning her attention to you. In any case, what do you think about all this? Want to check it out? You cross your arms. You're really suggesting sending me in another one of these when you were planning on giving this up? So, oh, come on! You never believe in this stuff, and it's impossible to scare you. I'm just trying to find some trial of courage that makes you sweat at least. You have a feeling that Anne really isn't going to give it up. Though you do have the option of just leaving if you want to, even if you don't show Anne and Ezra that you're nervous, it doesn't mean that you aren't. It's going to save. There we go. Turn. And place where people go to disappear? Are you crazy? Let me get this straight. You're saying you want to send me to a place where people never return from? Do you even hear yourself right now, Anne? Anne and Ezra both stare at you, a little surprised that you're reluctant. You don't blame them. You do usually just go along with Anne's suggestions. But that's usually because she's persistent and you don't care all that much. This time, however, you don't feel so confident that this would just be a ghost story like the others. This could really be a trip that you don't return from, despite the lack of detail Anne gave from the rumour. Call it main character's instinct. Call it plot armour. Ezra breaks out of his stupor first. Yeah, Anne. It's our shadows in. What if there's just a straight-up murder in those woods and the rumour is actually about them? Maybe they even started to lure new victims their murder den. Anne turns her attention to Ezra, giving him an incredulous look. A murder den? Who's making things up now? And in any case, Ezra, the rumour's been around for a really long time, so I doubt it's the work of a murderer. Yeah, but still, mate. Anne glances at you before looking away and huffing out a sigh. I get it. I guess your reluctance is enough anyway. I've never seen you be so serious about this before. Wow, the stubborn fool. Anne actually backed down in this situation. You're almost surprised. So that means she sighs heavily and practically rolls her eyes into the back of her head like a ghost. Yeah, you're off the hook. The three of you sit quietly for a moment before Ezra pipes up. How about we tell ghost stories instead? We already have the perfect atmosphere for it. And immediately perks up with this suggestion. Geez, she really isn't the cool taco, isn't she? Ezra knows exactly how to cheer her up. Oh yeah, great idea, Ezra. And then they tell spooky ghost stories. So they meander through the dark woods in search of the so-called creature alone, risking potential death or worse. You get to spend this lovely night telling stories with your beloved friends. It may not have been as exciting as you were expecting this night to wrap up, but it was fun nonetheless. Congratulations, player. Yay! That's one ending. So we'll just load and... Fine, it sounds all made up to me. You let out a deep sigh. You aren't surprised at Anne's suggestion, but that doesn't mean you aren't getting a bit tired of these. Fine, I guess I'll submit myself to another one of your tests. This one's the worst you've told so far, by the way. Ezra's right, sounds super made up. Ezra turns his smug smile towards Anne, but she isn't deterred. In fact, she doesn't even notice. She's too excited about you taking her up on her offer to even look his way. Really? Awesome. I'll get you this time, I promise. You doubt that. Okay, so since the rumour for this one is pretty simple, I guess you just need to head into the woods and wander around a bit. Make sure to use your flashlight so you can actually see. Yeah, you've been through these enough to know the way you should be doing this. Right, Anne, just show me the way to the woods and I'll get this over with. Sure, just make sure you also keep us updated while you're walking around too. Tell Anne that you don't need a rundown of what you need to do every time you do one of these. She eventually tells you how to get to the woods and you're on your way. It isn't long before that you arrive at your destination. As you take a look around the entrance to the woods, you realise that they look very foreboding, especially at night like this. You're sure they look much more inviting in the daytime. You feel a sense of unease, but press onwards, best to get this over with. As you walk, you keep Anne and Ezra updated as you promised. You've only been walking a little less than 5 minutes, but the oppressive atmosphere of the woods makes you feel like it's been longer. Nothing of note has happened in the short amount of time, but you've been diligently looking around your surroundings for anything hiding in the shadows. That's a tree. You stumble upon an interestingly shaped tree and decide to stop and take a picture to send to the other two. It's the only thing of note that you've happened upon since entering the woods after all, and it's very curvaceous. However, while writing up your message about the weird tree, you hear a noise behind you. Gasp! After spinning around, you're greeted with nothing. There's absolutely nothing beyond you but woods, but of course, why would you expect any less? You're in the woods after all, it must have been an animal or the wind. Brush it off and turn back towards the strange tree, except there is no tree. Ah, shit. In its place is a woman. Oh my. A sudden and quiet appearance nearly makes you leap out of your skin. I mean, I guess. She doesn't react to your surprise, and instead continues to stare at you in silence. You begin to wonder if you're just imagining things. Hey baby. How's it going? Save. We'll just save over that, because we already did the one. Continue to stare in tense quiet. You decide to keep quiet and stare back at her. Maybe she'll disappear when you blink or something. Like those ghost stories Anne and Ezra are always telling. In this moment, however, you notice this woman's a little strange, isn't she? No, she's not strange, she's hot. Not only is she not bothered by your flashlight practically shining in her eyes, but her appearance is also a little off. How's it off? She's hot. Is she some sort of cosplayer? You've never seen someone with skin as pale as hers, and the ears are a little bigger than a normal person's. Needless to say, she's a bit uncanny, isn't she? But you've paused and observed her. She smiles softly to you, finally speaking. Ah, hello, Corazon. What brings you here to this woods? At that hour? It's quite late, you know. It could be dangerous. The way she speaks is a bit strange, isn't it? What? She tips her head at you for a moment before she chuckles softly into her hand. Ho 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 ho. My apologies for scaring you. I did not mean to sneak up on you. It's common for those from your home to introduce themselves before conversation, is it not? My name is Linan. Maybe it's supposed to be like the vampire Lian. Anyway, from English folklore about Lian Sid, the vampire that grants inspiration in return for life. My name is Lan. May I ask for yours in return? She's asking for your name now. Which may be strange, but she did give you hers first. It would only be obliged to respond in kind, wouldn't it? Please enter your name. Serenitas, there we go. My name is Serenitas. Serenitas? That sounds fucking made up. She chuckles into her hand once again, her movement unnaturally smooth. I see, nice to meet you, Serenitas. Are you by any chance lost? Lost? Why is she asking you that? Just never saved. There we go. Why is she asking you that? Should you tell her why you were actually here in the woods? Should you lie? Tell her the truth. Well, I was actually hanging out with my friends and we wanted to have some fun before Halloween, so she gives no reaction to our explanation, so it's hard to gauge exactly how she's feeling about it. I was dared, basically, by a friend to go to the woods in search of a creature from a room. She stares silently at you for a moment, almost statuesque. You can feel your face heating up under her scrutiny. After a moment passes, she finally speaks. A creature from a room? I do not think I have ever heard of such things. Her lips suddenly curl up into a smile and you find yourself shivering from the cold, surely. Those sweet Serenitas, clearly made up. I'm sure if you continue to wander a place such as this, you are bound to lose your way. It would be best if you were to head back to your two friends, don't you think so? I'm sure they'd be worried to death if you did not return. It's like, yeah, but you're a hardy. I can most certainly promise you that whatever it is you are here for, you will not be finding. Reaches for you, gently taking your free hand in hers. Oh, sweet, holding hands or other. Somehow, even though your hands are already cold from the chilly October night, her hands feel like ice. They make you shiver. She, however, smiles warmly at you. I'm going to take all your life. Let me help you find your way, dearest Ceranthus. Yeah, alright. And without so much as a single word from you, she leads you through the woods. The Nan's walking is so light you can hardly hear it. If it weren't for her hand on yours, you might think she wasn't even there at all. As you look around, you think to yourself that it would most certainly be easy to get lost here since you don't recognize these woods at all. It doesn't help that everything looks the same in the dark. Oh, dope, a cabin. Not concerning at all. After some time of walking, you don't come upon the clearing. Instead, you and Linan walk up to something that looks a bit like a building. Did I pass this earlier? Linan looks back at you. Did you not? I'm certain you must have missed it. It is a bit more, and I can feel you shivering more as we go. Would you like to pause for a moment to warm up before setting out once more? I promise to leave you for a moment. Hell yeah! I mean, sure. I can crash at your place. You know, I am feeling pretty cold, all things considered. You must be cold too, so let's take a break inside. Yeah. Linan nods, giving you a soft smile. At the center, come dearest Ceranthus. Oh yeah. It leads you into the cabin. Considering how she handled the situation, you're beginning to wonder if this is her home. Take a seat on the bed. I shall bring a warm blanket. Would you like something warm to drink as well? So many save slots being made. Sure, I'll take whatever you're making. I guess if you're offering, I can't say no. Thanks, Linan. She raises her eyebrows slightly before smiling sweetly. It is my pleasure, beloved Ceranthus. But you keep saying that, but I ain't complaining. He then turns away and begins working on making the drink. You decide to take a look around the cabin whilst waiting. It's not a very run-down cabin, quite cozy actually. It had a homely vibe to it. You actually feel very at home here. The blanket she gave you is also comfortable, so you can feel yourself warming up a bit already. Might also be thanks to the father that's going there, as we're gonna sleep and wake up and it's just an abandoned shack. All torn down and shit. After you'd wait for some time, the nun eventually comes up to you holding a mug in her hand. Are you feeling warmer now? Holding the warm mug makes you shiver, realising just how cold your hands are. Warmer? Yeah, especially compared to out there. Can't believe I didn't decide to wear another layer today. I'm an idiot! She smiles as she settles down on the bed next to you. It is quite the blessing I happened upon you then. The nights only grow colder, Ceranthus. The drink she made you seems to be a type of tea. It tastes good, adding to the homeliness of the place. They do. The Nan's watching you drink the tea and it's making you feel a bit awkward. With her sitting so close though, you finally realise just how dressed down she is. She must be much colder than you. Then again, that isn't the only odd thing about her, is it? Aside from her appearance, it is. Nothing wrong with her appearance, she's hot. When she snuck up behind you, she didn't have any source of light, yet she seemed to know where she had been going. First guess would be that she's someone with excellent night vision, but wouldn't she have reacted to your flashlight? Another strange thing is that she seemed to live in this cabin all alone. Since you find yourself wondering about her, it wouldn't hurt to ask some questions. Linan? Yes, my lovely Ceranthus. Would you mind if I ask you questions about yourself, love? She tips her head to the side before chuckling softly. You would like to know about me? Ever the curious one, aren't you? Well, I suppose it should be alright. It is a rather good way to pass the time. Oh my god. Aren't you cold? So I can't help notice how you're dressed, Linan. Aren't you cold? You got your tits out and everything. She stares quietly at you for a moment before she chuckles. Ah, how I am dressed? Not accustomed to seeing so much skin, Ceranthus. Skin? You cold? Linan gives you a sly smile, her eyes squinting. It seems she's having a blast teasing you. Well, dear, I do not feel the low temperature to the degree that you are. Perhaps I am far too familiar with it by now. Maybe. Okay. Now to think about it, the tea is quite tasty. You don't believe you've ever had anything like it. So what kind of tea is this? Ah, you want to know about the tea? Places her hand on her cheek, smiling at you sweetly. You are enjoying it, I take it. I am glad. It is my personal spin on black tea. The recipe is a secret, though, if you're planning on asking for it. Tee-hee-hee. Black tea? Should have been able to guess by the almost smoky flavour and acidic finish. So what does she mean by secret recipe? You've honestly never had black tea that tasted this good. I've never really had black tea that tastes this good. Nan's mouth opens as she stares at you. It seems like she wasn't expecting your sincerity. Damn, look at that blush. You can almost swear that you can see a slight flush to her cheeks despite the lighting. You think so, dear? Why, thank you. No other has ever said as much to me. Right, you gotta get out more. You aren't honestly thinking of asking her this, are you? No, I am. I mean, just whoop. Let's leave this option be, don't you agree? Don't push your luck. She's been very kind to you, hasn't she? Ah, I want to know. Geez, you really are persistent, aren't you? Fine, ask away. Don't blame me for any sort of reaction you get for your tactlessness. So I was noticing you had pretty unique features. I've never seen anyone like you before in real life. Nan stares quietly at you. Seems to be no change in her demeanour, but her silence is making you nervous. You guess she could have had some sort of plastic surgery for her ears to be the way they are. Maybe she's wearing contact lenses to make her eyes look like that. So that would make her a pretty serious cosplayer of sorts, right? Trying to live out being a forest dweller elf thing? Though she still hasn't spoken, did you upset her? Oh, none. She still isn't saying anything, but now she's looking at you differently. Maybe you did upset her. You should apologize. I'm sorry, Lena. That was really rude, wasn't it? You don't have to answer that. She looks away from you, simply sighing. Yes, of course. I can ask it again. Is it just, I really think you should leave it alone? Okay. You aren't entirely sure if you should really ask this question, but you've come this far. No turning back now. You seem to be pretty good at night. Nan stares silently at you, as if waiting for you to explain your question. Well, I was just noticing that when we ran into each other, you didn't have any form of light on you. Ah, I see. I was not using one at that particular moment because it would have been difficult for me to see your light. I had simply stored it away for later use. I figured that we could use your light as we walked together. She stored it away? Where? Her gown doesn't seem to have pockets. Wondering where I put it? Oh, it's between her boobs. Seems she caught you peeking. Only Anne does this chuckle. She appears to be leaving it to your imagination. It's between the boobs. So I'm guessing this is your home, right? Why do you live in the middle of the woods all by yourself? Nan tilts her head, her earrings jingle with the movement. And who is claiming I live here, dear? Do I really seem the type to take residence in a place such as this? Wait, so she's saying that we're currently staying at someone else's cabin? That doesn't make sense. If that were the case, why did she seem to know where to find everything she needed? Your thinking is interrupted by Leanne's chuckle. Oh, sweet Serenus, I was just making a joke. Such a serious expression. Oh, joke. You can feel your face heat up from the embarrassment. So, why'd you live here anyway? Leanne looks away from you with a thoughtful hum, turning instead to look forward at the rest of the cabin. I suppose it's simply because I enjoy the scenery and ambience of the woods. This cabin is quite old, so I thought it would be a shame to let it rot. There is another benefit as well. I'm able to assist people like you, dumbasses. Those who find themselves foolishly wandering in the woods in the middle of the night. It is a win-win, as they say. She looks back towards you, a gentle look on her face. With the way you two are sitting, you can see how her long eyelashes frame her red eyes. I'll say that's a really nice reason. But she's pretty. Why, it's all. You noticed that for your questions, you finished all the tea she made you. This seems like a good place to stop. Well, I guess I'm done since I finished my tea. Anne sits quietly for a moment before turning you away. You're not leaving yet, are you? It's still quite cold outside, and the night is not getting younger. Huh? She doesn't want you to leave, but she invited you here to warm you up. Could there be something else? Oh my! Lenan! Lips curve into a smile that looks almost mean, and gently places her cold hand onto your arm. Oh, sweet Serenity, she really had been so naive, you know, considering the circumstances. Not killing you is the least I can do to teach you some manners. Damn girl! What? Kill? What is she saying right now? The mug slips out of your grasp and clatters to the floor. You're suddenly feeling very tired. Why? Her smile widens, revealing the sharp fangs she's been keeping hidden this whole time. Do not worry, my dear Serenitis. You were not the first to fall for my trap, and I promise you will not be the last. Your blood will make a delicious meal for me. Now be good and sit still. That's why she was hot, is because she's a vampire chick. The then pushes you onto the bed and the fire goes out, engulfing the room in darkness. Oh my! You can feel her cold skin through your clothes and her breath on your neck. When her fangs pierce your skin, you feel searing hot pain in your veins, making your head pound. You're starting to feel dizzy. It's safe to say that the rumor was true, and unfortunately, will be another name on the list of those who've never returned. Okay. I'm gonna reload this one. Do a that's all. Change your mind then, that's fine I suppose. You stare down at the mug, watching the light move from the fire. In that moment though, you remember that you were supposed to keep your friends updated. You reach into your pocket where you usually keep your phone, and to your surprise, it isn't there. In a hurried movement, you check your other pockets as well. Your phone is gone. Since when has it been missing? You didn't even notice it being gone. You came in with it, didn't you, since you've been using it as a flashlight? You turn to look at Lenan, who is unsurprisingly watching you. What is it, Serenitas?
My phone's gone.
Your phone? Anne turns her head around the cabin, looking thoughtful. Did you drop it somewhere?
I don't think so. I think I would have heard it through.
She hums before turning back towards you. I should take a look around the cabin and just outside. Please finish your tea as I do so.
You sure?
She smiles softly. Of course, my dear. Alright.
Alright, I'll help with some then.
Nan hums in affirmation before standing up and looking around. She's walking slowly and looking carefully at the floor. As she watched, she noticed how the dress drags on the floor. Don't you think that something like that would make more noise as she walks? In fact, she's so quiet that you wouldn't know she was there if you didn't see her at all. Considering the fact that you aren't going to find your phone, just sitting here, you decide to focus on drinking your tea. Your heart pounds at the idea that you lost it somewhere in this place for good. Once you've finished your drink, you set the mug down on the bed and go to stand up. When you do, however, you feel so dizzy that you need to sit down again. What's going on? Why do you feel so tired? Did Lan do something with the tea she made you? Did she possibly spike it? No way, she wouldn't do that, right? A stranger in the woods. You can't even ask her at this moment since she's already stepped out of the cabin. Your head begins to pound and your vision blurs.
Oh!
You fall back onto the bed and faintly hear the door open. You can almost hear Lenan let out a thoughtful hum. It's already working, isn't it? Everything fades away. Alright, that's the third ending. We'll just fire this up. Just, yep. Yes, I did. I was just checking. Logic cool. And then we do it. And then we ask about the tea. Ask again. Okay. And then, oh crap. I mean, not going to ask that one. And then that's all. So it seems like a good place. So I guess I'm done to finish my tea. Spot the tea. You were looking lethargic. Perhaps you don't mind staying for the night. I have grown quite fond of your presence, so I admit I am just trying to prolong your stay.
You want me to stay for the night?
Yes, I suppose I do not get to have such a lovely chat with many people. I very much enjoyed your company tonight, and I would miss you if you left. Perhaps I've grown lonely with time. The smile Lenan is giving you looks quite sad. You guess you also had a pretty good time. Ooh, chatting with her as well. It's pretty late, so you can message your friend in the morning. You feel unusually fine with this idea.
Sure, I could stay.
Her eyes open a bit wide as you give her a reassuring smile. She looks down and smiles softly. Thank you, Serenitas, you've made me very happy today. And then they do the nasty. You end up staying the night with Lenan and she asked of you, her bashful smile still fresh in your mind. I wonder what tomorrow will bring. Yeah, that was a nice. Oh, let's get a little blush going on. That was a pleasant ending. Let's see, we're going to ignore the tea. No, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Lenan. Since I'm planning on leaving right after this, just like it's fine.
Are you certain? I would just be making you some tea.
Yes, I'm sure, but thank you.
From where you're sitting, you can almost see her frown. She lets out a soft hum and sits down in one of the chairs, turning to face you. She's keeping her hands folded on her lap, you mean her claws. How are you feeling then, Serenitas Warm?
I am. This blanket is really nice and cozy, but
You take a look at how Lenan is dressed with her shoulders and chest exposed in the way they are. You wonder how she isn't cold. Wondering if I'm feeling cold, are you?
How'd you know?
You laugh awkwardly, feeling a little embarrassed to record staring. Well, you were looking if I said yes. However, would you warm me up?
Bro.
She gives you a coy smile, looking at you through her eyelashes.
We'll warm you up.
You look around the cabin, noticing that the only blanket you can see is the one you're currently using.
I guess if you're cold.
You hear her shift in her chair. Are you sure, Serenitas?
I mean, you're cold and there's only one blanket. I couldn't let you freeze like that.
Anne chuckles and stands up from the chair she was sitting on. She slowly makes her way over to where you're sitting on the bed before she softly sits down closely next to you. She grabs your arm and pulls it around herself, wrapping her arms around your body. She's freezing and close. You really are...
You really are cold now. Why are you so dressed down in this weather?
My dress is quite beautiful, is it not, Serenity? It's honestly my favourite gown.
Well, it is pretty, just a bit unconventional for the weather, right?
Perhaps, however, if I was not wearing it, I would not have the opportunity to be in this position we are now. So it was worth the trouble, don't you think? Is she flirting with you right now, Serenitus? I fucking hope so.
I guess. It is nice, and you're also beautiful, so I guess it's fine.
The man leans back slightly, looking up at you. You think I am beautiful? Ah, that's a nice blush. Anyway. The cheeks are flushed a light pink colour.
I do.
You're suddenly feeling a little nervous about the situation. A gorgeous woman is practically cuddling with you in her bed. Though it is to warm her up, you should really get yourself under control. Be still, beating your heart. As if realising your nervousness, Lon lets out a soft chuckle. Your heart is beating very fast, my sweet Serenitus. You aren't thinking of anything naughty right now, are you? You can feel yourself heating up due to embarrassment.
No, I'm just a bit nervous is all.
He laughs once more. I know, worry not, my dear. I am simply teasing you, for I am a bitch.
Teasing? I know.
The man lets out a soft sigh and leans away from you after a long moment of silence. She reaches up and strokes your cheek with her knuckles. My sweet Serenitus.
Lila?
I do not want you to leave. What? I wish you would stay with me forever. I do not want anyone else to have you. Don't you want that too, to belong to me completely? As crazy as it sounds, you don't find yourself immediately objecting to her odd display of affection. In fact, you even started feeling oddly calm since a bit ago. Odd.
Oh, no.
I know you don't want to part from me either, Serenitus.
I don't.
You want to stay, correct? Ah, bitch, getting hypnotised.
I do.
She smiles softly, wrapping her arms around you and she... Ah, we're just thirsty. It's one of the two. We're hypnotised or we're thirsty. I'm so happy. In the end, you did not leave to tell your friends of what took place in the woods tonight, so we got a hot goth vampire. It was a win-win. In fact, you did not return at all. You never left the cabin again. You promised to spend the rest of your time with them then, after all. Nice. Alright, that's clear. Back to the woods. How do you think about it? You were freezing cold, though.
Get acclimated? No, thank you.
You've decided that going to the mystery cabin in the middle of the woods is not how you want your existence to end.
Actually, Lynette, I think it'll be okay if we continue going. It's only a bit further, right?
She stares silently at you before tilting her head to the side. Well, I think I would like to take a rest. My feet are feeling quite tired.
That's fine. In that case, I'll go on ahead of you.
This causes her to frown as you whipping out her claws. All the while, her grip on your hand is not loosened at all. Without me, Serenitus, you will surely get lost.
It's just past the cabin, isn't it? Oh, they'll be okay.
No, Serenitus. She raises her voice before she catches herself and turns her face to the side, going quiet. She chuckles nervously.
No, I know you're worried, but we're okay. You don't have to get so upset.
She's quiet for a moment longer before letting out a sigh and turning to look at you once more. Her expression is once again calm. Yes, you're right. I shall take a break here and you can go on again.
Sure, thanks for leading me this further.
She smiles. Of course, my dear Serenitus, I'm going to kill you. And this is farewell. She releases your hand from her grasp.
Goodbye, Lynette. I hope we see each other again. Especially it.
I am certain we will. You walk past her in the cabin, continuing on the way she had been leading you. As you walk by, the nun watches you pass. You feel a bit bad not being able to go with her, especially since she went out of her way to help. Too late to go back now, though. And you walk, and walk, and walk. There seems to be no end to the woods. You wander until you have no service, and then your phone dies, and you eventually feel tired and sleep under a tree. You are fortunate enough to not wake up again. Oh my, you died again. Let's see, why is she asking you that? Should you tell her why? Yep. Make up a story.
Oh, lost? Nah, okay, I should go into the woods too.
You pause for a second. What sort of lie could you possibly tell that wouldn't be an obvious fib? And then is staring at you.
To see you! I'd heard rumours about the breathtaking beauty in these very woods that you can only see at night.
She slowly tips her head at you, keeping her gaze trained on your face. You see me? Rumours of a beauty? You smile and nod.
Yeah, they say there's an exceptionally kind and beautiful woman that you can see if you gather your courage to enter the woods at night.
She stares quietly at you for another moment before a smile blooms on her face. What are you saying, Sir Francis? There is no rumour like that, is there? You are saying that to flatter me, are you not? Well, she is without a doubt beautiful. And then there's the soft sigh, smiling gently at you. Well, whatever the reason is that you are here, wouldn't it be best for you to quickly take your leave? The night's only growing colder, and it's an unwise decision to go further into unknown territory such as this. A sudden change in topic surprises you. I can most certainly promise you that whatever it is you are here for, you will not be finding. She reaches for you, gently taking your free hand in hers. Somehow, even though your hands were already cold from the chilly October night, her hands feel like ice, they make you shiver. She, however, smiles warmly at you. Let me help you find your way, dearest Serenitas. What? Not so much as saying words, she leads you through the woods, blah blah blah. I think so that most nobodies get lost. I don't recognise these woods. And back to the cabin. Okay. And then... Alright. Yep, that's fine. Agree that you're lost and need help.
Yeah, I'm actually lost.
Your eyes scan your surroundings. You search for a reason why you'd be lost in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night.
I was having a party, and I guess I had too much to drink, and now I'm here.
You laugh sheepishly, and rub the back of your neck. Lenan, on the other hand, doesn't react.
So...
Before you can continue talking, she smiles, her eyes squinting. I see, of course. Well, I can most certainly promise you that whatever it is you are here for, you will not be finding. I mean, I was looking for you, you know what I'm saying? She reaches for you, gently taking your free hand in hers. Somehow, even though your hands were already cold from the chilly October night, her hands feel like ice. They make you shiver. She, however, smiles warmly at you. Blah, 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 blah. Back to the cabin. And lastly, we just right here. Talk to her. You've decided you'll try to greet the strange woman. There's nothing a little politeness can hurt.
Hello?
The sound of your voice, the woman finally moves, only tipping her head at you.
Excuse me, love.
You once again push for some sort of response. In this moment, however, you notice that this woman is a little strange, isn't she? Not only is she not bothered by your flashlight, practically shining in her eyes, but her appearance also a little off. She's some sort of cosplayer, and needless to say, she's a bit uncanny, isn't she? After you've paused and observed her, she smiles softly to you, finally speaking. Ah, hello, curious one. What brings you here to these woods at this hour? It's quite late, you know. It could be dangerous. The way she speaks is a bit strange.
I'm sorry?
Tips her head at you once more before she chuckles softly into her hand, going, oh, ho, ho, ho. My apologies for scaring you. I did not mean to sneak up on you. It is common for those from your home to introduce themselves to our conversation. It's not. My name is Lina. May I ask for yours in return?
She's asking for your name now.
Oh, she may be strange.
Big Johnson Esquire. My name is Big Johnson Esquire.
Big Johnson Esquire? She chuckles into her hand once again, her movement naturally smooth. I see, nice to meet you, Big Johnson Esquire. Are you by any chance lost?
Lost? Oh, lost now, as I came in these woods.
You pause for a second, something like it.
See you, rumors about the breathtaking beauty in the woods that you can only see at night.
And that's it, I believe, actually. So, whoop, back to that main menu. That's all, that was all 6 endings, I believe. Bit of fun, I liked it, I liked the art, I liked the style, it was short. And, always up for a hot goth girl, so, you know, there you go. So, thanks everyone for joining me. Feel free to like, subscribe, check out more content. Feel free to follow me on Twitter/X, which the link's in the description down below. And I'll catch you all later. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.